day 2, our baking day. We're making candles. Of course, this can honor Candlemas, and in the story they light these candles. So I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can make your candles for this week. We have normal beeswax candles and we have little walnut candles. So I am going to quickly show you 2 ways to make little candles for Candlemas to honor your halfway through winter, to remind us all that spring and the light and the sun are returning once again. So if you've never rolled a little beeswax candle, these are little kits that we have. It comes with your wick and these little sheets, and these little sheets come in handy for so many other things. So I'll show you kind of how to do a traditional candle roll, and then I'll show you how we do our walnut candle. It is so simple and it's really great for children for their little fine motor skills. You take one of your sheets and take one of your wicks and just line it up here. And this first roll, you're just gonna kind of pinch it over, and this is where you really wanna secure this little wick here. So you can really pinch this in, and this is where you wanna really secure this wick here, just like that. And if I have a large group or if I have little ones, I actually might do this part ahead of time. So I would have a lot of little sheets like this ready for just the rolling part. Of course, if I have 5, 6-year-olds, they could certainly start that themselves. But if I have littler ones or if I have a large group, it does really help to kind of prepare this. So then our next step is just rolling. And if you hold one side, you can really just push and roll. And so your children can just roll these little candles all the way up, and you want to give a nice little push at the end to kind of secure that little end, and then you have a little candle, and it's just super sweet. And then of course you can trim this wick just like this, and there you are, a little beeswax candle. Just, yeah, it's really simple, just a nice roll, and you can use this for your little celebration. Now for our walnut candles, we'll be using the same beeswax sheets, but I'll show you, we'll be using a little bit different wick. Now with walnut candles, typically you will pour hot wax into a walnut candle to make it, but I always try to figure out ways that we can use things that are a little safer for children, especially when you have a lot of kids yourself or in a group setting. I try to avoid hot wax when possible. Of course, if you have older children, you can certainly do that, but this is a really easy way to make a walnut candle without having to get the hot wax boiler out. So here's a little example of it finished. It is very sweet. They light beautifully. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your little candle wax sheet and you're gonna place a little bit in the bottom here. And then if you have a February kit, or if you want to look on our website, we have this kind of wick. So this is the wick we're going to use for our walnut candles. It has this metal base, and this is a stiff wick. It's not like floppy like the other one. And we're going to place this down in here, and we're going to push that little metal part right into the wax that we just put. And then we are just going to surround this with more pieces. So your children can just rip and push wax all around, and you want to just make sure that that wick is nicely supported with your wax. Get this all in here, and then you'll just repeat this until it looks just like this, nice and full. Press it down nicely, and then these float really easily. So if you see back on our, let me open this up again. If you see here, you can see in your book that I just put these in little bowls, or you could go out to a pond and put these on the water if you'd like, but these work really well. You light them on the water, and it's just a really special thing to do to honor this halfway through point as we're all eagerly awaiting the return of spring. So 2 different ways you can roll candles, you can make candles. These walnut candles are very traditional for this time of year, and there's just an easy way you can do that without pouring hot wax and with some wax you might already have on hand.